we are live, man. Welcome everybody to the Talk Your Talk Show, episode 2. I'm Eric Holmes, host of the Rick T podcast and the Talk Your Talk Show. And today we have a very special guest, man. Joining us now, in my opinion, is one of the biggest faces in fan control football today. This man has an arm like Josh Allen and a mind like Drew Brees. This guy is the one, the only, the quarterback of the Wild Aces, number 8, Jackson Dirty Dude Erdman, man. How you doing, bro?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, man. It's a pleasure to talk to you, bro. I'm super excited, man.
Yeah, the league's been a blast and it's flown by. We got championship week, championship Saturday, so it's been a fun ride.
Oh, I completely agree, and especially like you said, it's been championship week, a fun ride. You've been through a lot, you know what I mean? Not 12, 15 games, you know what I mean? But these 4, 5, 6 games that you've had have been, a lot. So let's get right into it, man. So first of all, Jackson, me and a lot of people will just want to know about where you're from and how it kind of got you where you're at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm born and raised kind of Minneapolis area, Minnesota. My dad was a high school football coach at the town I grew up in, so football is a big part of my life. Walked on at Penn State for a semester before transferring to St. John's, which is a local D3 school in Minnesota, central Minnesota. Had a great 4 years there, had a blast, and sparked some. Well, I guess my junior year I won essentially the D3 Heisman equivalent and was the runner-up my senior year, so that kind of sparked some NFL interest and everything. Signed with an agency, was going to be in the Minnesota Gopher Pro Day last May or April, something like that. But, COVID canceled all my opportunities. That was like Pro Day, rookie minicamp, CFL opportunities. So the FCF was one of the first opportunities I had to play, and, I took advantage of it, and here I am.
Exactly, man. Championship week, which kind of brings me to my next question, man. When you heard about this whole fan control football situation, did you kind of know it was the league for you because of Pro Day being canceled and stuff like that, or was it kind of just the opportunity that presented itself to you?
It was a combination of it being like my first opportunity, and then also just I'd say timed up, but I was almost like in a year of limbo, almost, just working out, and I'm lucky I'm in a great agency. I was training with a bunch of the Vikings guys like Adam Thielen, CJ Ham, even Kirk at times. But I was excited for the opportunity because, one, it's a different league, new concept. So to be part of the inaugural season was pretty exciting. And then just get film out there. Actually, I'm being paid to still play football after college, which not many people, get to do. And especially with this new league and the fan-controlled aspect and the Twitch and video side, tech side of it, it's exciting, and who knows where this league will go.
Oh, exactly, and I completely agree. I'm hoping next year they have more teams, more players, kind of give more players an opportunity to showcase their skills, like yourself did. Which kind of brings me to my other question. What's your favorite part about being in the Fan Control Football League? Because I know you guys are in a bubble. You guys don't have 12 to 15 weeks, like I said. So what is your favorite part about being in the bubble with these guys, or playing ball? You know what I mean? Just what's your favorite part about the whole situation?
That's a tough one because it's been such a blast. And, coming into training camp, it's a bunch of people coming from all different backgrounds. Some guys who have been in the league, some guys fresh out of college like myself. So it was just fun, meeting everyone. And now, we've been here coming up on, or just over 2 months, I guess. And, everyone's, so close, So it's, tough, saying goodbye. And, we've gone through a season. And it's just different for me, especially, being in college for 4 years, knowing the guys and everything. But I guess to answer your question, one of the best parts has been just the people here, the players, the personnel, FCF personnel, even hotel staff. It's a tight knit group, and it's been a blast. So I would say that on top of the games, because the games are so much fun, just in the arena, the atmosphere. Even there's no people there, and it's a blast. The graphics they got on screen, the entrances, the games. It's just so much fun to compete in.
Exactly, man. I was talking to LaMarcus Carradine and Travis Toyin, and they said that was probably one of their favorite parts. Is just the environment that all the dudes brought. You know what I mean? Just there's no fans in the stands, but everyone's still getting hype after every play, after every hit, every touchdown. I see you guys running on the field basically during the play. You know what I mean? So the environment with the guys has got to be crazy. So I completely understand why you guys think that has to be one of the best parts of fan control football. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Another question that a bunch of fans had, and me myself personally also had this: where did Dirty Dude come from? You know what I mean? Your name is Jackson Erdman. Where did Dirty Dude come from, man?
People call me Dirty. like it. So it started in high school. Like my Twitter handle was Jerdman, J Erdman, first initial, last name. So people call me Jerdman, and then someone just shortened it to Jerdy, and then it just caught on. So people call me that. And then coming in this league, I just wanted to like, social media is a huge platform in this league and everything. So I wanted to make sure I had a universal like username, and like my Twitter was like Jerdy002, my Insta was like Jerdy2. Like I just wanted it to be universal so it's easy to find. So Jerdy was taken, and then I was like, you know what, Jerdy, I'm a dude, Jerdy dude that's open, so I just rolled with Jerdy dude.
Jerdy dude, and it's fire too. Like at first when I heard it, I was like, Jerdy dude, like that sounds weird together. And then as the season goes on and as you make plays and stuff, you're like, Jerdy dude, like you start getting hype and saying it, and it just starts fitting. Like I completely understand that too. I think it's a dope name. Not a lot of players in this league have cool names like that, man. So shout out to you for that.
I appreciate it.
Of course, man.
That was the idea behind it,
Literally, bro, it's working out for you for real. And you being in the championship just makes that name even bigger. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just going to go up from here. Another question I had is with all the rule differences and stuff like that in the Fan Control Football League, you're straight out of college. What's the biggest difference from playing in the Fan Control Football League from coming from college? You know what I mean? Because it's still football at the end of the day, but there's so many rule changes. You know what I mean? With the limited playbook, you got teammates coming from this team to this team every week, stuff like that. You know what I mean? So just what's the biggest difference between college and Fan Control Football?
Man, that's a great question. And it's insane, like the amount of differences, because just like field wise, the dimensions, it's smaller people on the field, smaller fields, so you got to be quicker with your throwing windows and everything, new playbook. And then just the league as a whole, like you practice maybe 2 days with your team for that week because it changes every week. But despite all that, I would say the biggest difference for me is not knowing the plays until like 10 seconds before you're supposed to snap the ball and not really having a say in the plays. Because in college, my last 2 years, we exclusively did like no huddle, empty set, like fast-paced offense, and like at least 33% of the time I was calling my own plays. Like just going up tempo down the field, calling whatever I want, what I see. So it's quite a bit different to just have no idea what the fans are going to call and like get up to the line and they call the play and you're like, oh, all right, or whatever, and just you have to roll with it too. So that I would say that'd be the biggest difference, but there are so many differences and adjustments you have to go, and like new rules, like there's power-ups in this league. Like it's literally feels like a video game when you're playing. It's so much to adjust to, but I would say that is easily the biggest difference from like playing in college to the FCF for me personally.
I completely agree and stuff like you said with the power ups, the fifth down, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You get to swap the field and stuff like that. It is just like a video game, so I can see how that's so much different from college to from college to the Fan Control Football League and stuff like that. And like you said, 33.3% of the time you were calling your own plays, and in this league you don't know the play until 10, 15 seconds before you got to run it, and you have no say. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's just crazy to me. I mean, as a fan, we love it. And I was talking to Travis, like I said, and I asked him, what is the play calls for you guys? Like, is it like how we see it on the Fan Control Football app? And he goes, honestly, I haven't seen the app. What is it called? And I'm like, dude, like there's a play called I'm going to double dive into the DMs and like XY, BA. And he's like, oh no, those are not the plays. No. So it's so crazy to see how like it transfers from college to Fan Control Football League and then from the fans to the players. Like it's such a different league, but I love it, man, and I can see why you love it too.
And that's just another example. There's so many different aspects where this is different, and they're just promoting like it being like a fun league, like involvement with the fans, like calling it like funny, like relatable, like plays, like dive in the DMs, or like there's one like Catalina like wine mixer or something.
Exactly.
Like, 3 touchdowns on, and people were tweeting that out.
Oh yeah.
So they just make it relatable and fun on so many levels for the players and the fans just to connect with.
Oh, I completely agree, man. My next question for you is, you were talking about probably the favorite part about this whole experience was the people, man. Tell us one person that you just enjoy being around, you know what I mean? Because you've got to be around so many different people. What is just one person that you just feed off their energy, you love their vibe, and they're a baller at the same time, you know what I mean?
It's hard not to go with my boy Trav Daddy, because before coming here, like we trained together, and like because he went to North Dakota, I went to St. John's. We're both from Minnesota, and we trained at the same place. Like we graduated at the same time, but like we didn't really get to know each other too much. Like we're familiar with each other and like threw with each other and trained for a couple months. But coming here, like we've gotten closer, and it's just like been a blast getting to know him. And there's so many guys I can name too, like Braden Smith. Like he's a D3 quarterback. never met him coming in, and yeah, we're close now. I'm like, dude, you gotta come to Minnesota, go fishing with me, because he's a big fisher, and I like just chilling on the lake or whatever. But there's so many great guys here, and it's just been a blast getting to know everyone.
I feel it, man. And there's a lot of different dudes, and you can all get along with each other, too, it seems like. I haven't seen any beefs or anything like that. It just seems like everyone's having a good time, doing their thing in the bubble, you know what I mean, and having fun. Speaking of having fun, let me show you this next video. You guys posted it to your Instagram, Fan Control Football posted it to their Twitter and stuff like that. I think you know what's coming up. But I enjoyed the video so much, so I want to show the fans what it was, man. See, and I play that video, which brings me into my next question. You guys are on TikTok, on all kinds of social media. Is that the kind of stuff you guys have to do to keep yourself entertained in a bubble? You know what I mean? You can't go out and do just whatever you want. You still have to be safe with COVID going around. So do you guys enjoy kind of being on social media and making those silly little videos and stuff to keep people entertained and stuff like that?
I mean, for me personally, yes. Like, everyone has their different things to keep themselves distracted or entertained in the bubble. Because it's hardcore bubble. We're not allowed to leave the hotel unless we're going to practice. And that we're like we're in specific vans and everything. So, like, we do not leave the hotel at all. And especially with the SCF, you know, it gives a lot of us, like, a platform to, like, do whatever you want to do. If you want to start podcasts, if you want to stream on Twitch, if you want to create, like, content on TikToks and stuff. So this is all new to me. Like, usually I just like connect on social media and like network and stuff for like entertainment and learning, but like this is like pushed me to like now I'm streaming on Twitch, like I'm making TikToks, stuff I never thought I'd do. You know, they're helping me give the platform, the content and everything. So just taking advantage of that, just learning. And that's another part about the SCF. It's like football, yeah, but they're helping you like create your narrative off the field and like build your brand or whatever you want to do. They're helping you get the tools to do that. So I'm just trying to take advantage of that.
Oh, I completely agree, and that's a great answer, honestly. That's all you really can do is just try to build yourself, build your team, build your brand up, you know what I mean? Especially in a time like this when it's the only opportunity you really have to do so why not do it, you know what I mean? So I completely agree with that. Just a couple more questions before we get you out of here, man. I know you're a really busy dude. One question I have personally. The Wild Aces are in the People's Championship this Saturday against the Glacier Boys. In your mind right now, what is the outcome of that game? I don't want to know scores, but like just what in your mind, what happens in that game?
Come on, man, Dub
Aces City.
Are bringing it home. Come on,
Aces, boy. The Wild Aces are a badass team too, and I'm a Zappers coach, so you guys put it on me last week, man. I had to get off the app. Like really, I had to get off the app. I was really pissed. So shout out to you, man. What is one thing, and this is my last question before we get out of here, Dirty Dude. What's one thing that you're working on personally going into championship week? Like, what's one thing that you're preparing for more than you are preparing for other things?
Biggest thing for me, especially in this league, is one, being on the same page with your wide receivers and running backs, because you need to be. And, I mean, it always is going to come down to execution and who takes care of the ball. You know, we can't have turnovers or anything like that, because especially in the last games, every possession is critical, you know, and like turning the ball over gives the other team more chances to score points and everything, obviously. But this game is going to be longer. But yeah, the biggest thing is just communication, you know, meeting with our teams, just being on the same page, especially because we're putting in new plays and stuff every week. So we don't get too much practice time, so you got to create reps for yourself. You know, and that happens off the field with your teammates and everything like that. So just being on the same page and mentally preparing to execute and win the championship.
I love that answer, man. I love that answer, and that's all you can do, man. Going into championship week, this game means more than all the games combined, man. This is it. So all you can do is be on the same page with your receivers, with your running back, with your whole team in general, man. And I'm a man of my word. I told my boys on the Rick T podcast that I would say this on the show if you guys beat the Zappers last week. So before we get you out of here, I want to give a huge shout out to the Fan Control Football League for giving players and fans the opportunity to get involved and to be around the sport of football again. And I also want to give a big shout out to the Wild Aces for putting it down on my Zappers last week, 32-6. I'm a Zapper for life, but you guys are the truth and everyone knows it. For this Saturday's game, the Wild Aces versus the Glacier Boys, I'm rocking the Aces all the way home. Shout out Aces, Dirty Dude for MVP, man. So shout out to you, bruh. My man Jackson, thank you so much for your time and being down to earth for me and the fans watching tonight. Saturday's game starts at 7:30 Eastern. It's my guy Jackson, Dirty Dude Erdman, in the Wild Aces versus another friend of mine, LaMarcus Carradine, and the Glacier Boys. So don't miss out this weekend. Again, Jackson, thank you so much, and I hope, along with a lot of other people, that you just ball out this Saturday, brother.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, man. I'll have my manager get in touch with you. We'll send you a Talk Your Talk T-shirt and stuff. We'll get you back on here after you get the championship. All right.
Hey, I'd love that.
Of course, man. Jackson, Dirty Dude Erdman, man. Appreciate it.
See ya.
Shut up.
We're back with the Talk Your Talk Show, episode 2. I'm your host, Eric Holmes, and we just had an interview with Jackson, Dirty Dude Erdman, man. He is in the championship this weekend with the Wild Aces versus the Glacier Boys and my man, LaMarcus Carradine. It's going to be a great game, but I got the Wild Aces, man. The Wild Aces is about to turn up. They're going to turn this poster into this poster real quick. You see how they did it on my team last week? After they did it on my team like that, I'm not going to go against these fellas, man. So shout out to my man, Jackson Erdine. Dimes! Dimes, baby, dimes, man. I want to appreciate everyone from tuning in to the Talk Your Talk Show, episode 2. We are live. I do want to talk about a couple things that happened in the NFL. The legal tampering period started yesterday, and there's been a lot, and I mean a lot of moves made. But before we do get started on that, find my man Jackson, Dirty Dude Erdman, on all social media forums at Dirty Dude. I was about to say Jackson Dude. Dirty Dude. Go ahead and follow him up. Shout him out. Go ahead and comment and let him know we appreciate it for coming on the Talk Your Talk Show. And let's get him back on here after we get this championship. But, dude, in the NFL, there's been so much going on, man. So many teams getting involved in the legal tampering period and so many teams not. So I kind of want to get your guys' opinion on this stuff, guys. Drop in the chat who your guys' best free agent signing or best free agent cut was these last 2 days. I'm going to go ahead and read them off after I get to the bottom of them. There's been so much going on. So, oh, man, we're like halfway there, man. Give me 1 second, everybody. Jesus. We'll start here. 49ers reach agreement with cornerback Emmanuel Mosley on 2-year deal worth up to $10.1 million per source. Not my team, so I'm not super interested in that. Drew Brees wrote a fantastic letter on New Orleans News thanking New Orleans, Who Dat Nation, and Saints, his family, coaches, teammates, plus more. A few players even connected with the city, team, and Brees in New Orleans. Per Field Yates, man. So if you guys want to go see that heart-written letter, go over to Twitter, go to Field Yates' page, and go to his media. That letter is written right there, man. Oh, former Giants guard Kevin Zerder. We did play this on the Rick T podcast that he had just got cut, just got released. He has made an agreement for a 3-year, $22.5 million deal, including $16 million guaranteed with the Baltimore Ravens. They needed that. Lamar Jackson definitely needed a guard to block him. They're going right up the middle all the time. That's just what that team needs. You know what I mean? So that was a great signing. What else we got, man? What else we got? Oh my gosh. Offensive guard free agent. Most rumored interest. Bengal. Jets, Joe Thuney. And there's been a lot happening with him too, so if you guys are interested in checking that out. Patriots won free agency easy. The Patriots, they had so much money to play with. They didn't play with it light either. They did not play with their food. They ate. They ate in free agency. And I will shout out to the New England Patriots. There's one team that I think is going to be fantastic next year. And not a lot of people think it because Miami's in that division, because the Bills are in that division. But I'm telling you right now, do not sleep on Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. He made a lot of moves this offseason, and he's going to make a lot more. They said they are not close to being done, man. But we'll continue on, man. Cowboys expected to make a big push to sign Chargers D lineman Denzel Perryman, which I love that. As a Dallas fan, I love that, man. They ate for the first time ever. You ain't lying. Bill has never surrounded Brady with anything more than like a Wes Welker at the end of his career. N'Keal Henry at the beginning of his career, injury prone. You know what I mean? So 2K Life 88, shout out to my boy Ty. That's my dog. But yeah, the Patriots definitely ate for the first time in a long time. You know what I mean? Breaking news. The same day Drew Brees retires, he grabs another job. And not a lot of people knew this. I don't know why this wasn't big breaking news. It probably because it wasn't his contract wasn't, what Skip Bayless's was, what Dak Prescott was. But Drew Brees joins NBC as Football Night in America analyst. And that was the same day he retired. So he had a plan. He's probably had this plan for a long time. No one's going to convince me he didn't if he got that the same day that, he got that, man. Breaking news, Zach LaVine just put up 40 points in 3 quarters. And I should definitely be watching that game right now. Shout out to you, Ty. I know you're a Bulls fan. Zach LaVine is the truth, but he needs to get out of Chicago. Let's be real. Let's be completely honest. Another big shout out to the Black Shop Podcast. My boys over at the Black Shop Podcast, they're doing this jersey giveaway. Today is the last day to enter, so go find them at the Black Shop Podcast on Twitter. Enter their jersey giveaway. It's real easy. All you got to do is subscribe on their YouTube. Comment below what jersey you want and retweet the tweet, and it's super easy. They have a lot of people involved, but it's super easy to get involved and maybe have a chance to win any jersey of your choosing. So definitely shout out to the boys at the Black Shop Podcast. Shoot over to Twitter and get involved in their jersey giveaway. You know what I mean? Per Adam Schefter, the Patriots already have spent most guaranteed money on free agents in any offseason over the last decade, and they will be holding the record for most money spent within the span of 2 days in the tampering period. It was Miami in 2020 last year, and now it's 2021 New England Patriots. Like J Money Time said in the chat, Patriots definitely won free agency, and it's day two. Unless someone signs Deshaun Watson or someone trades for Russell Wilson, which is not happening because the Bears just signed a 1-year, $10.1 million deal with Andy Dalton. Per source, that they went for a big push on Russell Wilson, and the Seattle Seahawks said that they are not trading him at the moment. So you thought in Chicago that Andy Dalton was it. That Andy Dalton was that guy. I texted my group chat, the Rick T Podcast group chat. Shout out to the Rick T Podcast. Boys, those are my dudes. But shout out to the Rick T Podcast. I texted them the other day and said, breaking news. And they said, Eric's kind of worried. What is it? And I said, the Washington football team signed Ryan Fitzmagic. No one disagreed that I should be a little worried. Because Ryan Fitzmagic is a vet. He's a very good vet, and he can come in there and play. He showed that last year. He showed that the 1,200 years before on the 32 teams he's been on. But one thing that I'm saying is Andy Dalton, being a Dallas fan, he's not it. He is not it, man. He is not it. 2K Life 88. Yeah, we suck. I don't understand. If you're talking about the Bulls, man, it's y'all need Jordan back. Y'all need Jordan back for real. When we had Q on, I asked him if Raiders were backpedaling by releasing Trent Brown, and now we don't have any O lineman, period. Which is facts. You guys got rid of every single high caliber O lineman that you guys could have had. You know what I mean? Oh shit. The Raiders, yeah, we need to get Q back on here because I definitely want to ask him some questions on the Raiders. The Raiders are going through a rough time right now. How are you going to get rid of all your O-linemen and expect Derek Carr to be okay? You guys got rid of Nelson Aguilar. Who are you going to throw to? Darren Waller can't do it by himself. Darren Waller who? Shout out to my boy Spencer Webb, Oregon Ducks tight end. Darren Waller who? Who's Darren Waller? He's definitely a good fantasy tight end. He's definitely a guy, but is he the guy? Is he that guy for the Raiders? Do they have any? Like Q said, is there a dude on that team? And I keep coming back to this. There is no dude on that team. It sucks for you guys. That's a busy dude right now. I'm a busy dude right now, all right? I'm a busy dude right now. Don't play with me. He's going to lead the team to playoffs. Maybe Fitzmagic doesn't have to worry about losing his job for no reason. Fitzmagic doesn't. I don't think. Okay, so let's be honest. I almost lied to myself. Fitzmagic definitely wants to start. He was hurt last year when Brian Flores pulled him and started Tua. He said, I was hurt. I didn't expect that. What is going on? But, dude, in Chicago, with Trubisky, that's his job for sure. But if you go down to Washington, they don't have nobody. Heineke, that's his job. That is Fitzmagic's job all day. Fitzmagic don't got to worry about it. And in Chicago, I don't believe Andy Dalton really has anything to worry about. You know what I mean? Matt Nagy does not like Trubisky. I don't know why. I have no clue. I'm not in the locker room. I'm not in their media room. But he does not like Trubisky. And per source, that's why they went and got Andy Dalton. They made a big push for Russell Wilson. It did not work out, so it's looking like Russell Wilson will likely stay in Seattle for this 2021-22 season, which I like it because I like him with DK, but I'm not too sure it's going to fit with him and Pete Carroll. They kind of seem like they hate each other, allegedly. They truly do. They truly do kind of seem like they hate each other. All this beef coming out of nowhere, it's just not for me. Former Lions linebacker Jared Davis to the Jets on a 1-year, $7 million per deal per source. Big money. Jets are actually doing some big moves too. The Jets did sign Corey Davis on, I think, a 2 or 3 year deal. I will read that soon. Jamal Williams, Packers backup running back, says goodbye to the team. He is getting released after Aaron Jones signs an agreement to come back to Green Bay. Oh my gosh. And the spending spree in Foxborough continues. Former Ravens linebacker Matt Judon reached agreement on a 4-year, $56 million deal, including $32 million guaranteed with the New England Patriots per source. Matt Judon is a bad man, and we all know it. Everyone watching this show right now knows Matt Judon. Everyone knows what he did for the Ravens. Everyone knows his number. Everyone knows what he looks like. You can go see him in a Walmart and oh my God, Matt Judon. He's a bad man. The New England Patriots are, oh my gosh, they're stacking up. They're stacking up. I don't know if Dallas plays them. I don't really care. I don't think we'll lose to them. But dude, there's a lot of teams that I think Miami should be worried. I think the Bills should be a little worried. Bill Belichick doesn't know how to lose very well. Chiefs are giving former Pats O-lineman Joe Thunley a 5-year, $80 million deal per source. Great. They picked him up. Matt Judon. Back to what I was saying. Chiefs are giving former Pats O-lineman Joe Thunley a 5-year, $80 million deal. They're trying to protect the money. They're trying to protect $500 million in the backfield. You seen he was running 500 yards in the Super Bowl. They have to pick up somebody to protect him because obviously the left tackles who they just released, they blame the whole Super Bowl loss and him running around in the backfield on their tackles, and then they release them. I'm a little confused, but they go ahead and get offensive lineman Joe Thunley, 5 years. I don't know where they're going to put him. I assume at either center or guard. That's what he originally plays, but we never really know. You know what I mean? Former Cowboys defensive tackle Malik Collins reached agreement on a 1-year deal worth up to $6 million with the Texans. Another sleeper team that is getting some sleeper players. Malik Collins, as a Dallas fan, I know he's a bad man too. He can fill up the middle. He's a run stuffer for sure. I loved having him on the goal line. But he's going to the Texans. He's not leaving the state. He's going to the Texans. No one wants to sign with the Texans. Everyone's saying someone wants to make some money. Someone doesn't care about winning. Or maybe they do. Maybe they plan to win down there. Maybe they can't. Maybe they can keep Deshaun Watson. Unlikely. Very unlikely in my minds and a lot of other minds. But dude, it can happen. You know what I mean? Let me get that. New Browns safety John Johnson is viewed as one of the smartest inactive safeties in the league. On top of his physical skill set, he'll immediately bring leadership, reliability, and impact plays. Huge get for Cleveland. Per Field Yates, man. Shout out Field Yates. Doing his thing, man. That's what I said. Shout out to the real MVPs today. And it was literally like Sports Center, Field Yates, Adam Schefter. I had all their notifications on for the last 3 days. And my phone has just been going off. They're on top of it, which is making me on top of my game. So shout out to those three, making the Talk Your Talk show and the Rick T podcast stay on the top level. You know what I mean? But there's a lot, and this was a day ago. There was probably a couple of these players signed today that I will get to, but this was a day ago. Slowest moving market yesterday was wide receivers, man. Kenny Galladay, unsigned. Juju Smith-Schuster, unsigned. Corey Davis was unsigned. He got signed to the Jets today. Curtis Samuel, unsigned. Will Fuller, unsigned. Nelson Aguilar to the Patriots, I believe. Antonio Brown, unsigned. I believe he's going to come back to Tampa Bay. He's more of a Gronk type. Speaking of Gronk, he went back to Tampa Bay too. Washington talking to Curtis Samuel per source. I'm fine with that. Washington is just like a bunch of I don't want to say not guys because they have scary Terry McLaurin. I hate playing against him. He does some damage to us. Alex Smith did not like playing against him. He's a good quarterback. I don't know if he's going to play again, but he's a good quarterback. But the players they're getting now are just... I'm okay with them. I'm okay going against them 2 times a year. You know what I mean? 2K Life 88 says in the chat, it's not a lot of great receivers on the market. You're not lying. I said right here, Marvin Jones Jr., I believe he just got signed. Where did he get signed today? I think the Jacksonville Jaguars. I want to say the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I think the best receiver on the market this year was Corey Davis, and he went to the Jets. Shout out to my boy Matt Faraci. Shout out to the Jets. He went to the Jets. So now I'm really excited to see what the Jets do with this number 2 draft pick. I think potentially they can trade out of it. If they wanted a little more bang for their buck, they can trade out of it. But, dude, I'm not even going to lie. I like what the Jets have going on up there. I've been a Jet supporter for the last 8-9 weeks. Ask my co-host Tony. Ask my co-host Jello. Ask my manager Justin. Ask my statistical analyst Jason. Ask any of them. I've been high on these New York Jets for kind of a minute, even during their losing streak. I fell off. But I'm back. The New York Jets are going to be something. I like that AFC East division next year. The Dolphins, the Jets, the Bills, and the Patriots. That is probably going to be my division to watch. He said Jaguars. Yeah, I think Marvin Jones Jr. went to the Jaguars. Yo, shout out to my boy Little J6 in the chat. You missed the whole interview, but you can go watch it back on my Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook Live. What up, Jay? What fan control football team Jay's on? Jalen was on the Zappers with me. He joined literally last week, and we got stomped 32-6. I blame Jalen for that game. We didn't communicate on the play calling. I blame Jalen for that game, man. Look, Zappers. I'm a Zapper for life, man, but I'm going for the Wild Aces. The Wild Aces and my boy Jackson, Jerdy, Dude, Erdman. They're going to go crazy. My boy Jackson, Jerdy, Dude, Erdman going to go crazy on him. He came on the podcast earlier, talked his shit, said they were going to get some dubs, baby. And he would love to come back on after they had that championship, man. He's one of the faces of the fan control football right now. He is probably going to be the MVP of the People's Championship this Saturday if they win, I think. I truly do. He's a tough week. Jerdy was dope. Yeah, Jerdy's my man, bro. I love talking to these fan control football players. Like, I talked to Travis Trav Daddy Toyin. I talked to LaMarcus Carradine. I talked to Jerdy Dude. This next coming week, we have a special guest from the Fan Control Football League, but we'll save that for the social media. You guys will hear that coming soon. But my team knows who's coming, man. Shout out Zappers. It's going to be a big one, too. But let's get back to the NFL talk, man. We got to stay off the fan control football until we got these players on here. Former Bengals cornerback William Jackson reaches agreement with the Washington football team. I'm all right with that, too. Rams are giving linebacker Leonard Floyd a 4-year, $64 million deal per source. Patriots are giving former Raiders wide receiver Nelson Aguilar a 2-year deal. We talked about that. Jesus, chat's blowing up. Get Josh. Not yet. Flash. I can't tell you. Who's coming on. All I can say is Zappers. That's all I can say, man. Zappers. This Fan Control Football League is coming up, man. It truly is coming up, and I love everything about it, bro. Broncos reached agreement with former Washington football teams and Eagles cornerback Ronald Darby per Adam Schefter. Tony and Jello loved it. They said, we got Ronald Darby. We do not need to draft a cornerback at 9 anymore. I'm not going to lie. I highly disagree. I like Ronald Darby. He's definitely a good player, but he's not a number 1. I'm telling you, in today's league, these young wide receivers, the routes and the way they run, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, you cannot put a Richard Sherman against them. You need to get some young, good knees, good mind, the young mind. You need to get these younger guys out here. And I'm sorry to say it because I love older players. I love Richard Sherman. I would love to have him on the podcast and talk to him a little bit. I think he is a free agent. A lot of players would love to sign him. I would actually love for Dallas to go sign him. But Richard Sherman does not need to be up against Justin Jefferson. Ronald Darby does not need to be up against Jerry Jeudy at practice every day. It's not going to happen. You guys need to go get Caleb Farley. Get a young buck versus a young buck. Get these guys to challenge each other. You know what I'm saying? Jay Money Time in the chat said, my coworker said he was hoping for a bigger body DB. Exactly. Ronald Darby is a slot DB. He's a slot corner. Brandon Kabrish, he said, where's the Jeudy interview? It was already earlier, man. You missed it, but if you did miss it, you can always just go rewatch my video after we end it. It was dope. I love talking to Jeudy, but he's a busy man going into championship week. He had a bunch of interviews. He actually had one right after he got off with me, so I couldn't keep him on too long. You know what I'm saying? Man, Winston QB1 for the Big Easy. No, he's not. I said this on the Rick T podcast on Sunday. I said Jameis Winston is a better fit than Taysom Hill. I truly still think that. Jay. But when you look at the contracts that they both just got, Taysom Hill just got a 4-year, $160 million. Same as Dak. That's Dak caliber. And then you got Jameis Winston, a 1-year, 10. I don't see my franchise quarterback on a 1-year deal unless it's a franchise tag. You know what I mean? Unless they're not trying to let me go. We're still negotiating and stuff. But you don't give your franchise quarterback a one-year deal. I just don't see it. I'm surprised the Patriots re-signed Cam. Everyone thought that 1 year was just for Cam to prove himself and to get out of New England. It was kind of like a JUCO situation for him. You know what I mean? He said, yeah, he is, but true. I'm not saying anything bad about the Saints. I would agree that Jameis Winston should start, but the contracts that they just got kind of confuses me on what the Saints are thinking. You know what I mean? I'm confused. And that was a day after Drew Brees retired that they gave both of these guys contracts. So I'm a little confused. They're going to compete for the job. Who's going to win that, though? There's an athlete versus a quarterback. There's an athlete versus a quarterback, but the athlete can throw. You know what I'm saying? After what Bill and them did in New England, I feel like Dallas was being cheap still with that. Hey, we was being cheap for 3 years, but now we're not. You can't sit here and say anymore that 4 years, $160 million, $120 million guaranteed for Dak is not kind of pricey. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good size deal. That's a great deal for Dak. Dak loved it. That's why he signed it after 3 years. They've been negotiating that for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 160, 140. No. See you later then, Dak. See you later then, Dak. We'll talk on the flip side. Franchise tag. Next year, hey, can you bring Dak into my office? I need to talk to him. 4 year, 5 years, $60 million, $120 million. No. See, next year, Dak. It just went back and forth, bro. It was stupid. It went back and forth, bro. But Saints have been using Hill for a couple years now, and he's essential to that offense. I agree he's essential to that offense. But is he essential at the quarterback spot in that offense? I liked that offense better when Drew Brees was at the quarterback spot and they had Hill elsewhere. If you put Jameis where Drew was and just use Hill elsewhere like they did use, I love that offense. I love that team. I love Alvin in the backfield. I love Michael Thomas. I don't know if he'll stay, but we'll see. He hasn't gone anywhere yet. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting, man. You know what? It'll be really, really interesting. But like I said, Broncos need to draft a DB, my boys. Tony and Jello, you guys listening right now, please call John Elway. I know he has nothing to do with the draft picks anymore, but call him and tell him to tell the man that does have something to do with it, we need a DB, sir. And we would love Caleb Farley or Patrick Surtain. I would personally like Caleb Farley for Dallas, but you guys pick ahead of me. Slant boy gon' slant. Slant boy. I love that name for him. I honestly, if I was Michael Thomas, I would rock it just like Dirty Dude. I would fucking rock it. Slant dude. Slant boy. Okay, Slant Man. I'd have to name my Slant Man. It's like Ant-Man. You know what I mean? Slant Man. It definitely couldn't be no Slant Boy, but I like calling him Slant Boy. I think that shit is hilarious. Texans are signing guard Justin McCray to a 2-year, $4 million deal with $500,000 signing bonus. That's doo-doo. That is doo-doo. He must be doo-doo. Wow. A chance to run it back. Tight end Rob Gronkowski is returning to the Bucs on a 1-year worth $10 million, which brings me back to my 1-year deal with Jameis Winston. Do you see a guy on a 1-year deal being either a long-term deal or a franchise player? Either he's going to be back in this situation next year and he's going to leave, or he'll retire. There's no way they're franchise tagging Gronk, not at his age, and there's no way they're just going to keep giving him 1-year deals and him accepting it. Unless Brady just keeps telling him to. I will be so dumbfounded if that's what happens. You know what I mean? J Money Time in the chat says Patrick Surtain, man, dude is a beast. He is a beast. We have Stephon Diggs' little brother Trayvon Diggs, who played for Alabama last year, so he could play right across the field from his old college buddy Patrick Surtain. They started together last year. But if you watch the highlights of Caleb Farley, truly everyone who is listening to this podcast right now, if you're watching, go look up on YouTube, Caleb Farley, cornerback, or Virginia Tech. Best cornerback in this year's draft. And then it goes J.C. Horn. I didn't even bring him up. J.C. Horn. I think he's out of South Carolina. And then we have Patrick Surtain out of Alabama. And then we go to the safety spot. Those are the best 3 DBs in the draft. And then you go to the safety spot at Oregon with Javon Holland. Truly. And I just looked at a mock draft the other day, and it had Dallas taking Javon Holland at 10. Which I have no doubt in my boys from Oregon ability to play in the first round. Penei Sewell, Justin Herbert, Javon Holland, if it happens. But my thing is like, are we looking for a corner or a safety in Dallas? I think we need a corner. If it's not a corner, it better be Penei Sewell on offensive lineman. It better be Rashawn Slater on offensive lineman. It better be a corner or an offensive lineman. Sorry, I got a little distracted. Shout out to my boy Justin Pies. My boy E speaking facts. Shout out to my boy Justin Pies and his Patriots going stupid in this year's free agency legal tampering period, I guess you can say. But they are going crazy. Shout out to my boy Justin Pies. We were definitely just saying that the Patriots won free agency in 2 days. Bill Belichick woke up and was like, honey, I haven't spent money in 37 years. Let's spend some fucking money today. Let's spend some money. And they went and spent some money for real. His wife had no choice in those items that they spent him on, but he spent some money. You know what I mean? So shout out to my boy Justin Pies. Shout out to the Patriots. Definitely doing their thing, man. Ooh. I love this. And this is per your boy Q. We had him on the podcast last week, man. He tweeted, can confirm Raiders have signed DN. Don't judge me for messing this guy's name up, bro. Yannick Ngakoue. Hey, man. If that's his name, the Raiders signed him. I guess he's a really good player. My boy Q, he loved him. Justin loved him. And I completely agree with your idea, Justin. Give me 1 second. But yeah, I love that Raiders signing. You know what I mean? I love that Raiders signing. Give me 1 second. All right, man. Yes, bro. I'm so hyped. Is that how you say his name? Yannick Ngakoue? Yannick Ngakoue. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to be natural with it, but it's just not working out. You know what I mean? And most are calling the Patriots' biggest news of the day. And truly, Justin Pies, he can probably say this right here, right now. The Patriots re-signed defensive tackle Carlos Davis. A lot of Patriots fans love that. I personally don't know who that is or how he plays, but every Patriots fan that I've talked to about that loves it. They have no problem with that re-signing at all. Defensive tackle Carl Davis. Hunter Henry, and the Patriots get Hunter Henry. What was the other tight end you guys got too? I know I have him in here. Oh my God, the Patriots also signed wide receiver Kendrick Bourne to a 3-year, $22.5 million deal. He's coming from San Francisco, a baller for San Francisco, going all the way across the country to New England. Shout out the Patriots. They're going crazy. They are going crazy. Oh my gosh. Former Seahawks running back Carlos Hyde has reached an agreement with the Jaguars on a 2-year, $6 million deal. The Jaguars are making moves. Crazy cool. He signed from 2 years, $26 million, and the Pats signed Nelson 2 years, $26 million, man. Yes, and Patriots signed Jonnu Smith. They have a double tight end set like they had with Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez on one side. They're back. If they can find, if Cam Newton, because I guess you guys don't have to find a quarterback. I still think you guys might draft like a Mac Jones if he falls to you guys or something like that. But if you guys can find the right quarterback to fit in that system, oh my gosh, you guys can be deadly. And if N'Keal Henry can stay healthy this year, you guys will be deadly. So could we kept Nelly basically? I don't think you should have kept Nelly. I like Nelson Aguilar on another team. He played very well for you guys. I think the only team that he would have played shit on is the Eagles. He's just not a good Eagles receiver, you know what I mean? But we addressed the pass rush. You guys addressed the pass rush and like said, screw my offense. Get rid of the offensive line. Get rid of every receiver that we have. Screw the offense. Hashtag Las Vegas Raiders. What the hell are you guys doing? Al Davis is rolling in his grave right now. Rick T Podcast mod wants me to whip the J's out. Shout out to my Whip T Podcast mod. You already know every time I get that emoji, I have to whip my Jordans out. I gotta whip my J's out. You know I got my 11s. Don't play with me. Hello? 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 Shout out to Jordan. 2K Life 88 said Newton can be there. Cam can be the QB. He is the QB. But if they get a rookie quarterback, say they draft one, it's gonna be a challenge. And I don't know if Cam's too into challenges. You've seen him in Carolina. He's not too into challenges. He'll sit out the whole year, watch, and then complain when he's getting traded. I'm hoping Bill pull some strings and picks up or trades up for Zach Wilson. Wow. So you're one of those players that thinks Zach Wilson is a top 3 quarterback. And I'm not saying he's not. I guess I just don't know too much about him. I've seen Trevor Lawrence play for 4 or 5 years. I've seen Justin Lawrence play since Last Chance U. We've all seen Trey Lance playing behind all these quarterbacks at North Dakota University. You know what I'm saying? So not to say Zach Wilson is bad. I just think he's like a one-hit wonder. Like he came out of nowhere this year, and now everyone's like, we want Zach Wilson. 5'11" Zach Wilson out of BYU. I nothing bad to say about the guy. Dude has a cannon for an arm. He reminds me a lot of Drew Brees in his size and the way he plays and just kind of his scheme, the way he looks at the quarterback spot. He reminds me a lot of Drew Brees. But hey, like you said, Justin Pies, the dude has a cannon for an arm. You got to give him help like the other spoiled quarterbacks. That's not what Bill does, but it seems like he's kind of giving Cam a little bit of treats. It's like Cam went on the I Am Athlete podcast and said, Bill's a bad man. That's one of the coolest dudes I met. And Bill was probably at home like, thank you, Cam. I'm going to help you out. Gave him a couple weapons. You know what I'm saying? 2K Life 88 said Cam never has weapons or has had the weapons. His best receiver was an old Steve Smith and Calvin Benjamin. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. I don't even think he really played with DJ Moore, huh? I think he maybe played with rookie DJ Moore, and that was kind of like DJ Moore getting his feet under him. DJ Moore's the truth now, but that wasn't when he was with Cam Newton type deal. You know what I mean? He had Christian McCaffrey, but Christian McCaffrey is a running back. That's like saying Drew Brees' best receiver on the team is Alvin Kamara. It may be, but it shouldn't be that way. It should not be Christian McCaffrey. He should have a number 1. So I completely agree with you, Ty. Shout out to my boy 2K Life 88 for saying that, man. J Money Tom in the chat says, the kid who roasted Cam Newton got under Bill's skin. He was like, Cam will never get roasted like that at a quarterback camp again. Never in my goddamn life will I let that damn thing happen again. So straight up. Oh! Also, this is probably the biggest breaking news of the night. Former Mesa Ridge wide receiver Eric Holmes Jr. has reached agreement on a 3-year, $37.5 million deal that includes $27 million guaranteed with the Dallas Cowboys per Eric Holmes Jr. That boy is a baller. That guy is a damn baller. Give that man more money. He should have more money. He should have more money. Man, a lot of people were roasting the Dallas Cowboys for paying Dak, Zeke, and Amari. Well, now they just paid Eric Holmes Jr. Add him in. Add him in. Add him in. Straight up, add him in. That shit is so funny to me, bro. Ooh. He said, LOL, man. The Titans are signing former Colts defensive tackle DeMarco Autry to a 3-year deal worth $21.5 million. Damn, bruh. Honestly, there's been so much stuff coming out here. Patriots just signing Jalen Mills, cornerback for the Eagles. Signed him with the green hair. Got him in. Dude, Bud Dupree got signed. The Jets agreed to terms with Bengals pass rusher Carl Lawson. Bro, shout out to my boy Christian Wiley. Sit that ass in that seat, boy. My ass is sat. My ass is sitting. You already know what I mean. Shout out to my boy Chris. Love you, brother. Hope you're doing well, man. Appreciate you for tuning into the Talk Your Talk Show episode deuce. Broncos are giving Philip Lindsay the low restricted free agent tender per source, which is weird to me. Whatever. It's kind of boo-boo. There's a lot going on, man. Tons of free agents still remain available, though. And this was 23 hours ago. Offensive tackle Trent Williams, Kenny Galladay, Juju, Chris Carson, Curtis Samuel, Will Fuller V, Jadeveon Clowney. I think Carlos Dunlap did get signed, and I think Shaq Griffin got signed. So, but honestly, shout out to the NFL. There's been so much going on. If you can, go over to the Twitters of Field Yates, Adam Schefter, the NFL Sports Center. Keep all of their notifications on, and you will get. Where does Juju go? Wow. I honestly think Juju goes to the Chargers. He played at USC in LA. He's got to go back to LA. They have a quarterback. They have a number one, which Juju is not. He is not a number one, so he can play number two in Los Angeles. Why not go back home? I think that's the best fit for him. A lot of people think he's going to go to the Jags and play with Trevor Lawrence. A lot of people think he's going to go elsewhere, the Giants possibly. No. That's just not going to happen. I just don't see it happening. You know what I mean? And like I said, Ryan Fitzmagic was the biggest news of the day for me. Ryan Fitzmagic was the biggest news of the day for me, man. But that's about it, man. I'm out of here. Talk Your Talk Show episode 2, man, was a success. We had an interview with Jerdy, dude. Jackson Ehrman. He is in the championship this Saturday versus the Glacier Boys. And I'm telling you, the Wild Aces are going to do some damage. So definitely tune into that on Twitch. And if you're a coach, thank you. Appreciate your gander. So thank you for tuning in to Talk Your Talk episode 2. We'll be back on Sunday with the Rick T Podcast episode 37. Me and my boys talking some deep stuff, some UFC, some March Madness, some NBA, and some NFL moves, man. So don't miss out. Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Mountain Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time for the Rick T Podcast episode 37, man. This is Talk Your Talk episode 2. I'm your host, Eric Holmes. Appreciate you, man.